Hi, Imab768. Hi, Fresh PP. Hi, thanks for joining. Hi, Faye. We're just gonna wait a few minutes for other people to join. Hi, thanks for joining. Hi, Tane. Hi, Tommy. So happy to see you. Hi, Gabriel. I see you joined. Hello, Timmy. So I know it's just a minute past 6, so we'll give a few more minutes to see who else can join and wait for our guests to join. So today we're really going to be talking about dyslexia, and we're talking about overcoming barriers to dyslexia. So what is dyslexia, and how do we overcome barriers, break through the barriers that come with dyslexia? And we're going to have a very exciting guest join us. So please share your questions. I'll be able to see them. I'll share them. We'll talk about them. And we hope that you have a great time with us today, just learning more about dyslexia and how you can identify and support the superpowers that dyslexia brings, especially this month that is Dyslexia Awareness Month. Hi, Jenny. I see you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining Dyslexia Nigeria. We're talking today about breaking through barriers. Hi, Hafsat from Sokoto. So happy to have you with us today. We are waiting for our guests to join us today so we can start. Hi, Malatse. I see you're from South Africa. Thanks for joining us today. Hi, Katerina. If you have any questions you'd like us to address today, please type them to me. I'll be happy to take a note of them and talk about them when we start the session. Hey, Ephraim from Canada, thanks for joining us. So while we wait, let me tell you more about Dyslexia Awareness Month. So every October it's Dyslexia Awareness Month, and it's a chance for us to talk about dyslexia, share ideas, tips, resources, information about what dyslexia is. And it's a chance for us to see how we can identify and support individuals with dyslexia, because we're so many. 1 in every 5 of us is dyslexic, and dyslexia occurs on a spectrum. Oh, our guest is here. Hello, Cross, are you there? Let me see if I can add him now.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Cross, can you see me?
Yes, I can see. Hi.
Excited to see you here.
Hi. How you doing? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to sort 1 or 2 things out quickly. How's it going?
Good. Oh, we have lots of people here with us, just waiting to hear what we have to say about this.
Oh, yeah.
I know many people are excited to hear from you. You're Cross the boss.
Hi guys. Hi. Hello everyone. I'm waking up not too long ago. So everyone, please bear with me, man. How am I doing? I'm doing good. I'm in Abuja right now. I just want to make some quick tea and just drink, and as we engage with each other right now. Last night was fun. Some of us were live on my IG live last night. So I was so having a good time last night, and I decided to go live, and some of my friends were there. So yeah, it was fun.
That fun can spill over to us today.
Sorry?
Hoping that fun can spill over to us today.
Yes, yes, definitely. That's the plan. That's the aim, isn't it? That's the aim.
Talking
To have
about barriers, and we all know you from season 6 of Big Brother Africa, and know that on that show it was revealed that you are dyslexic, and you're the perfect person to talk with us about dyslexia, what it's like being dyslexic, what barriers you might have faced and how you've overcome them. So we'll go through that sort of over the next 45 minutes.
Sure.
Okay, so for everyone, in case you don't know what dyslexia is, it's something called a specific learning difficulty that affects reading, writing, spelling. Sometimes it affects other things like memory, ability to remember information, or to comprehend, understand what you've read. And it can affect organization or direction. I mean, in ways. And I know Cross will tell us more about that. Also, some people, I know Dyslexic Think in Africa, which we're a part of, we also see dyslexia as a creative thinking pattern, a creative learning pattern. So we'd like to talk about that for today. So Cross, welcome to the for joining.
Yes. Today we're having tea. Let's have tea instead of alcohol today. Normally I would have had alcohol, Glenfiddich to be precise, as Glenfiddich is the best drink in the whole world. But today let's have
So I could have joined you.
yeah. Let's have tea. I see Doing. Hi I see Doing is here, from the latest BPN season 7. Big up, big fan of her.
So Cross, where would you like us to start?
Oh yes, let's just pretty much start you know as what is dyslexia? I think a lot of people would like to know what's dyslexia. So can we please just explain what dyslexia means?
Yes. I mean,
Let's,
I'm good, and then it'll be good for you to tell us what your experience with dyslexia.
yeah, of
And
course. Yeah, I'm going to tell you all my experience with dyslexia. I'm going to tell you my experience with dyslexia. So first of all, what is the meaning of dyslexia, first of all?
So basically, this is a
Yeah.
Greek word. It means difficulty with
It means what?
difficulty with words. It's a Greek word.
The Greek word, difficulty with words.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you dig in, it's a specific learning difficulty. It's
Yeah.
a learning difficulty that affects writing, spelling, sometimes memory, being able to remember information, or being able to be organized or comprehend what you've read.
Okay.
It's also a creative learning pattern because most people who are dyslexic are using primarily their right side of the brain, and they're very about what dyslexia is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess you're right. Definitely. Uzo. Big up Uzo. Uzo in the building. Big man. Okay. So, to me, all right, everybody's not perfect. So we have like 1 hour, like 40 minutes. So guys, just try as much as possible to listen to, because we're going to have more of these coming up. Okay. So try and where I'm coming from and try to understand that I'm not perfect. I'm a human being just like you. I could have been, your parents would have been giving birth to anybody, and you don't have to blame anybody. You just have to like adjust to the situation and just move on. So personally, dyslexia has, I didn't know about it. So let me just tell you how dyslexia came about, first of all. So I didn't know about dyslexia, right? So growing up, I've always thought, I'm not educated enough. I'm not smart enough, dumb enough, because I saw my peers, doing way better than educationally, and even in my own immediate family. So I was the first child, and seeing that my younger siblings could write, could read, could articulate words faster than me, just really thought, oh, this guy is a dumb person. And coming from an African, parenthood, which is my dad and my mom at that particular time, best believe they didn't also go to school that much as well. So in my dad's head, he just wants to make money and send his children to school. And they don't care what kind of school. They just believe that, okay, this is the best school. And come back with good results. Do you understand? Come back, make sure you come first 10 or first 20, whatever. So for me, it was more or less like I was coming last 5. And he just kept on beating the hell out of me. And my other siblings were like doing well. And you see my younger sister come like 6th, 5th, my brother will come like 3rd, and they'll buy them bicycle. And in my mind, I was just like, okay, not only is it that outside I'm pretty dumb, but also in my household I'm pretty dumb as well. So that's the kind of mindset I was, having growing up. And I had to like intentionally try as hard as possible to want to read. So for example, now when it comes to me, yeah, reading can be very, very difficult. So there are different types of dyslexia, right? So you could see misplacing words. So you could see cat, you could see a word cat, but in your mind, what you are seeing is COT, caught. I don't know how it happens. It's just a crazy way of, I don't know how it happens. It's just the way your mind, everybody has a different way the mind accumulates things and simulate things, right? And that's why everyone knows, that's why I keep telling everybody, everybody's hands are not equal. Everybody has a different timeline in doing certain things. And the way you process things are quite different. So when I notice certain things like this and the way I talk sometimes and the way I communicate, I realized that I could think about something, right? And in my head, in my head, it's right. But once I bring it out of my mouth, it's totally different. So, and I'm like, but wait, I thought about it in my mind. I said it in my head, but me projecting it outwards from my mouth is totally, totally. So things like this started happening. My impeachment speech, I realized that I could think of words, and when I try to say it, it doesn't rhyme or it doesn't add up. So things like that over the years. So I think my cousin, this was like years ago, like about 4 years ago. Yeah, this is how everything changed about 4 years ago. Yeah, roughly 3, 4 years ago. So my cousin went to America. All right, she taught, say like teaching kids how to educate, how to like she was like a teacher. She got to understand that in the classroom, yeah, there are like 30 students, right? But not all 30 students are stimulating or understanding how she's teaching. So they now got to that they moved some separate kids differently, and she was not asking them why is because some of them have dyslexia, so the way they learn is different. So from childhood, at the age of 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, they started like differentiating kind of learning skills that they should implement on a child. Do you understand how Americans are so advanced? And this was what she was telling me. So she was teaching, so she got to understand that, oh, so people from childhood, you should be able to identify how children learn. So you should be able to push them into different projects on how to learn. So that's how she started learning it, and how, you know, different students have different abilities to learn. Some visually, some constant reminder, some constant testing of IQs, you know, different ways for people to learn. So when she learned all this, coming back to Nigeria, so when we're in a heated argument, and that argument, she not like paused and was like, Cross, do you know that you're dyslexia? In my mind, this is exactly what happened. I was like, hmm? In my mind, I thought I had diarrhea. So I told her, it's you that have diarrhea too. She now laughed. She was like, no, no, you don't have diarrhea. That you have dyslexia. It's a learning disability. I was like, get the fuck out. Like, no, I don't. You do. It's your own problem. She was like, okay, calm down, relax. Let me explain it to you. She now said, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, no one in my life has ever explained it to me the way she did. So she explained to me that when she was in America, she was teaching students, and during that process, they will identify some students that have a different way of learning and push them in a different, you know, class and a different method of learning. So you teach them how they learn, and it turns out that sometimes those students could even do better than the people that are actually learning the normal, you know, classes. And those people are more like more artistic, more just they're different. They're born differently, so they had to pay more attention to them, because sometimes they do more than the normal people. So, for example, you can see some of these are celebrities that are quite big. Some of them the musicians, some of them the actors. Most of our actors are even, you know, have dyslexia because they couldn't understand. Like, for example, Steven Seagal, apparently he could not read and write, but he's one of the biggest actors in the whole of American history. Why? Because they had to teach him a different way of learning. So what I'm trying to say is that people with dyslexia is, unfortunately, in Africa, Nigeria, we've been looked down on, and we've been, you know, called different kind of names. It's unfortunate that um, education did not come so well to us to be able to identify that there are different ways of learning in our classes. I remember back then in high school, you know, once a teacher comes in, he carries today's biology, doom, date, 21st, top, to. They just start going. They don't even want to
Don't want to know whether anyone is following.
following or not. They just tell you what it is, and, you know, just, you know, go there, study it, and that's it. So people in school then all the read, and when you come to exam, you just pour it down, and you just, you know, write the answers and everything. But honestly, that way it works, but everyone have a different way of learning. So England as well, when I got to England, and I got to understand different ways of learning. So my teachers noticed some of my disabilities. That's why in advanced countries like, you know, Western countries, they are a bit patient. Nigeria and Africa, they're not really patient to want to listen to you or understand where a child or a student is coming from. They just project every student and everybody should have the same mindset or the same learning abilities. But no, it's not like that. We are built differently. So back then my teacher noticed it and started giving me, you know, special, you know, classes and special training, and that's how I became comfortable enough to be able to know that, oh, okay, I could even speak in public I could even talk to people in public. So yeah, dyslexia has a very, very, interesting way of now. Sometimes it could be like, difficulty. It could be your normal vision. You could not.
Yeah.
It's quite common, and it's quite common in a lot of people in Nigeria and in Africa.
Cutting in and out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Yeah, so there's so many things that you said in there that are so valuable. The first is you talked about some really common signs of dyslexia that you experienced. So mixing up words that sound alike and words that look alike, that's a really common one. A lot of children also have difficulty with reading, like you said. So marrying the sound of the word to what they're seeing so they can read and also write what they intend to say. Expressing themselves fluently, like you said, is also a challenge sometimes. And you also mentioned something important, that identifying early is necessary and it's possible. So in early years, I mean, there must have been signs you were showing as a child that maybe your teachers didn't know. Maybe
Yeah.
you were B's and D's, or you had difficulty remembering nursery rhymes, or tying your laces, or swapping left and right. Oh, have we lost Cross? Cross, are you still here? Oh, while we wait for him to join us again, I mean, there were some great signs that he mentioned there. So those are things that many people struggle with. People also have difficulties remembering pieces of information, instruction. So you tell someone something and they don't remember what you've said. But he really mentioned early identification. We can spot dyslexia, there are common signs. And right, I think he's back. Let me see if he's back and I can let him back in. Oh, it's possible he has some internet problems. I'm sure he'll soon. Oh, yeah, there he is. Hi,
Hi,
Cross.
network.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but you also mentioned, lots of actors might have dyslexia. That's because a lot of people with dyslexia are creative, and you find many of them in the creative arts, in music and in art and dancing. And those are ways that they can thrive. So really, I think for you, it's clear that there were some barriers in early life,
Yeah.
but somebody for you was important in overcoming that barrier.
Yeah, 100%. Because at the end of the day, right? I think personally, growing up, you need to surround yourself with love, right? People that love you would always tell you the best truth, and also they would, cover for you. So, for example, I have my cousin, right? He's Cheta. He is so smart, and when I mean he's smart, so educationally he's smart. So we grew up together, and do you know what it is? Okay, for example, now, right? You know how easy it is for you to just write your name, right? You think it's so. If they tell you to write your name, you see how easy it is to write your name, right? Do you know that there are some people that it will be difficult to write their names?
Absolutely.
Yes, it seems so funny, right? But it is, because to your mind you think, why will it be so difficult? But you don't understand, like, the mechanism, the wiring process in the person's brain is absolutely different from yours. So for example, my cousin, he plays a lot. We pretty much have the same kind of lifestyle, but he's so smart because once he reads something, right, it sticks to his brain. So for example, in his lawyer, lawyers, if you're a lawyer, you go to law school, bar one and bar two, right? Now, during that process, you know how bar one is very difficult and bar two, because of people from different part of the country abroad and coming, and you do it in Abuja. Do you know that during that process, everybody's trying to jack it? And I remember my cousin, every time he's always going out partying, trying to have a different, have fun. But a lot of people will follow him and, partying as well. But when it came to exam, right, result came out and he cleared everything. And everybody was going to him, trying to go and look for what he got, to know that, to laugh or to say, maybe we failed together, or that kind of. But look, to their surprise, he cleared everything. And everybody was like, This is the guy we party with every other night. Even a day before the exam, we're out in play clubbing. Do you understand? But yet, when it came to the results, he cleared everything and he came on. So, people were asking questions. He was just laughing. And I know this why, because I've studied him and I know him. And I got to understand that, okay, him now, right? If you give him something to read now, he just takes a second. Okay, that's it. Right there, it's in his brain. Now he goes and you go to exam hall and he just pours down what he has in his brain and he pours it down. Now, there might be that you have to come for practical, where what you've learned, you have to put it in practical. There's a possibility that he might not do very well. Do you understand? But when it comes to writing down what he read, he will just pour it down exactly for you. And you think, oh shit, 100, mark, good, A1. But now bring him to practical where he learned those things. It might be difficult for him to practice. So I want people to understand that you having dyslexia is not a bad thing. It's just that you have a different way of learning. You have a different way of processing things. You have a different way of accumulating things. That's all. Now, where it becomes bad. Sorry?
That's very important to note, because dyslexia is just a different learning pattern. It's a different way of thinking. It's not a disability. It's not a disease. It's not any medical that you take medicine for that you cure. It's just a different way of learning and of thinking. And if we can identify it early, we can give strategies, intervention to know how you learn so that you can thrive going forward. And then, you know, you don't have to be in your 30s or 40s till you realize, oh, this is how I think, you know? So, but did you get a formal assessment to say that you're dyslexic?
Okay, so personally, after my cousin told me about that, I had to go and do formal. So basically, I had to like check. I had to now intentionally check to be sure. Do you understand?
Right.
So experiences in life has always brought me to here, but I had to now like intentionally check. For example, I had to now like, you know, do some certain tests. So she gave me some certain tests to do, just to read. She told me, okay, Cross, read this sentence. Okay, Cross, do this. Gave me some tests for me to write and think. After I did all those, she was like, yeah, definitely dyslexia. I'm sorry to say, but it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It just means that you process learning differently. Do you know that most of our top celebrities that we all look up to, our musicians, do you know that most of them are dyslexia? But you will never know this, because I promise you, our actors, our artists, our musicians, our dancers, most of them, they create in different ways. So yeah, the way they create things are different from the way you create things. So in Nigeria and Africa, they don't make provisions for those people. So because of that, they actually think you're dumb, and they actually think you don't have things going for yourself. Me, right?
You know, we were saying before that our society just prioritizes reading, writing, and spelling so much that we don't value other people bring. I mean, dyslexia comes with so many strengths, and I'm going to ask you about, you know, the ones that you think are yours in a minute. But you know, one, problem solving, critical thinking, being able to solve difficult problems, understanding complex concepts. They're all dyslexic strengths. You know, creativity is a huge one. And I think just before we get to what you think your strengths are, I think other people should know that identifying dyslexia is important. No two people with dyslexia are the same. And you really need an assessment so that you can understand a person's gamut of strengths and where they need support so that they can excel. So if you need an assessment, please call Dyslexia Nigeria, send us a DM. All our contact information is on our page. We do dyslexia screening. We do dyslexia assessments. Like he said, it's nothing scary. There are no injections involved. It's just some reading, some writing, so we can see where we can help you. But let's go to the strengths of dyslexia for you. You know, what do you think dyslexia has given you as strengths?
Oh, okay, strength. By the way, big up Liko. I just heard that Liko popped into our life. Hey, Liko, gang, my love, I love you, babes. Um, so, um, so strength. Uh, okay, well, personally, right? The strength that I've accumulated from being dyslexia is because I remember things. So based on my visual, right? I got to understand that the way I learn things is visual. That's why if you ask me, I've watched about 10,000 movies. I've literally watched so many movies in my life. So that's how I learn. So I don't know if you are like this. You watch something, you watch a movie, you go rewind down. You rewind it to. Sometimes I even write it down. I promise you, on God, I swear I'm not capping you. So sometimes some things that call my attention or call my creativity, I'll just write, "Ah, this is mad. I'll go rewind and I'll write it down, or I'll video it and post it and keep it in my archive." That's how I learn. That's how I read. That's how I want to remember things. That's how I do. So I've seen so many TV shows, so many movies. So I got to realize that, oh, Cross, when you watch something, it actually stays in your memory. And I'm like, oh, really? And I didn't know this. So from childhood, I remember that when I watched like Lion King and I watched, different kind of movies in my life or in my day-to-day this thing, when I want to do something, how will I explain to you? Some memories or some situations that I've seen in that clip would come and appear in my real life, and I have to now remember how it was done and see if I can navigate myself towards it. I don't know how to. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how to explain it to you, but best believe that when I see something visually, right, it's hard for me. It's very difficult for it to leave my mind, especially when I've stored it somewhere that I know that it's something I want to use. So, um, um, for example, now Game of Thrones now. For example, Game of Thrones. Let's for example, Game of Thrones to me, right? It's one of the best educational movie that I think everybody should watch, right? And when I watched it, I didn't just watch it because there were dragons flying or people were using sword to fight or anything. No, I watched it because I learned some certain things, character traits, some certain words that needs to be said, some certain behavior that you need to do as a king, as a servant, as a soldier, as a daughter to a king, or as a king, as a prince. Or, these are the things that I saw that helped me to understand how life should be, how people should learn, and how things should unfold. So after watching all those things, sometimes I rewind, write down, forward, all those kind of things. Now in life, when I go through some certain, I just remember, oh, I remember this thing that happened in this certain episode in this movie or something like this, and I accumulate it. So I won't lie to you, it's always one of the best things for me that I remember things that have happened in a movie or in a documentary. That's why I watch a lot of documentaries as well. So when I watch it, I remember, and that's how I learn. So in my finance, when I want to learn about finance, I have to watch something. If I don't watch it, I wouldn't remember. So if you tell me, hey, come and read this, I read it, but reading it now, like now, for example, a learning disorder character, now, off my mind, I saw this is charactered, but in my mind now, it says charactered, but when I read it now, it might say characteristics. I don't know why. I actually don't know why. It's so annoying, but that's the way I've noticed that my brain functions. And if I decide to be sad about it or kill myself about it, I won't live to my full potential. So I got to realize that it's okay. It's just that I have to intentionally try much and much better to know that, okay, this is part that I don't understand, or this is part I understand, or try to be better. So yeah, there's strength around it. And plus, speaking about, like, okay, for example, now last week I was at an event which I told you earlier, speaking on blockchain and Web3. Now, a lot of people that have dyslexia will be so scared to talk in public because they don't want people to laugh at them. They don't want people to, think they're dumb. Me particularly, I know a lot of people have different reservation about me, and it's okay because that's your own reservation. I know what I think about myself. So now that's why I come able to say, you know what, I'm comfortable enough to say, yes, I would like to speak on a topic like blockchain technology or web or NFTs, because I know it. It's something that I do on a daily basis. It's something I love. So me, 500 people, 200 people, 1,000 people. Of course, I should be scared because, you know, I'm going to be able to, I might mix up some certain words, or when I think about some certain things, it comes out differently and people could laugh to that. But those kind of things don't scare me. Why? Because I know that I'm building myself up. I'm educating myself, and I'm taking away the phobia of being able to speak in public. So I think people with dyslexia, right? You all need to understand that you're actually a special human being. You actually are. It's just that it takes you to know that you're special, so that people around you would eventually catch up to the fact that you're special. If you don't see the specialty in yourself, it's going to be difficult for somebody else to see it. So I always encourage people that no matter what and who you are, if you don't show yourself, that you're actually the real deal or you're the light, people would not see it. So you actually have to feel it. You have to be absorbed to yourself to know that I'm not stupid, I'm not dumb, I'm actually gifted, I believe I can do this, and you can do it more than any other person. It's just that the way of them doing it can be different from the way you're doing it, but that does not mean that you're not going to get to the same end point, or you're going to go to the goal.
This is so powerful. This is so powerful. And there's so many things you said there that I know will change the lives of many adults and children from here. Because so many children are labeled as dumb, as stupid. They're beaten, they're bullied because they...
Bullied, especially bullied. Oh God, I feel bad, because I won't lie to you. I felt I was bullied enough, because there are some period of time that they will call in the assembly ground, call people that came last 5, and best believe that my name is going to come out, and I'll come out to the assembly ground, and I will face the, you know, JSS1, JSS2, JSS3, one SS2, SS3, and I'll literally be outside, and I'll be looking at the whole crowd, and that thing can demoralize a human being. It can actually demoralize a human being. It can make you sick. It can make you want to feel like you're actually worth nothing. But those things actually gave me strength, if I'm being honest, because I got to realize that what is the worst thing a human being can feel in life? Humiliation. Humiliation. You feel humiliated, you feel degraded, you feel down, what exactly it is. So those things gave me power for me to be able to equip myself to be able to do better. So somehow, people might not have the strength I used to use to come over it. Some people might not have the amount of energy, but I think if you're a teacher, parent out there, or you're an elder sibling, try to make space and room for your sibling, or for your child, or for your students, because they actually have a very different way of learning than you think. Because as I said, writing your name now can be so easy for you, but writing someone's name can be difficult. Or now you tell the person, all right, bring a ball. You see how simple it is to kick a ball. Like, you see how a ball is. You tell the person, kick a ball. The person kicks it. You bring the ball again, kick it. Do you know that if you bring another kick a ball, you could see the person might want to fall. He might not have the balance enough to kick that ball. But what does it say? It shows that the person has a different ability, but that doesn't mean that both of the person that cannot kick the ball is not, physical enough, or strong enough to kick the ball. It just shows that the way of he kicking the ball is kind of different. Do you understand?
There's this quote that sums up what you're saying perfectly. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to live its whole life thinking that it's stupid. But it's just a fish that should be in water, and we should see it for that and appreciate it for that. And for everyone who's listening, if you have a child around you or an adult around you showing signs of dyslexia, understanding is key, supporting is key, and there's some simple ways to help. Like Cross has said, the way he learns is visual. It could just be presenting the information in different ways so they can learn it. It can be that. They're having difficulties copying from the board. The important thing is that they get the information. Type it out for them to have it. If they're having difficulties following what people are saying quickly, let them record it and play it back. It can be simple things like that that make a whole world of difference. So thank you so much. So many people are afraid of the stigma of dyslexia and don't want to speak up. And I'm so grateful that we're able to speak about this with you today.
I'm great. I'm honored. I love the fact that we should be able to talk about things that make us feel not worthy enough. So, for example, mental illness. People are scared to talk about things like that, but we shouldn't be. Dyslexia. Why are people scared to talk about it? These are things of life. When God created the world, I hope you know that God, in His infinite wisdom, created everything, and you too, God created you. So do you think you are a disadvantage or you are flawed when He created you? Of course not. It's just that when He created you, He gave His own abilities. When He created animals, He told animals to act the way they were. When He created angels, He told angels to act the way they were. When He created the sea, He told the sea to act the way they were. When He created light and day, they had, so everything He created had their own ways of doing things. And you, because you are human, that does not mean that you must automatically have the same abilities as every Tom, Dick, and Harry. No, it just shows that you have a different way of understanding things, and it shows the different way of you processing things. I know that everyone wants to be a dancer, but you cannot be a dancer. Everybody wants to be an artist, but you cannot be an artist. Everybody wants to be a comedian, but you cannot be a comedian. Everybody wants to be a footballer because you want to be like Ronaldo or Messi, but you cannot be. Everybody wants to be like Usain Bolt or the new lady that broke our world record. The lady, I can't remember her name, but you cannot be. I personally would love to jump like Kelvin Durant or LeBron James, but I can't. Why? Because there are some abilities that God has given you now as a whole. Now, you personally have to nurture it, know what it is now, and play to it to your strength. And luckily for you, have the right people around you, which are teachers, parents, elder, siblings, so that they can give you the patience. Because if you ask me personally, right, my mom helped me a lot. Why? After I lost my dad was like the strong Udogu in the house. So if you fuck up on you're in trouble, sha. So my mom gave us a little bit of breathing space, meaning that, and I think it was based on what happened, that she now allowed us very close to each other. So based on that, I actually felt love no matter what I am. So even if I couldn't spell some certain things or I couldn't write certain things, I was still overshadowed with love. So because of that, I still felt comfortable enough to talk, to speak, and to feel like I'm human. I know a lot of people would have, felt hidden or going to their shells because they don't have that love and that protection around them. So because of that, hide their shine. They will have light, and it's unfortunate that that particular person's shine light can actually change a lot, or can even change the world. But because they don't have the love or the support around them, they hold back and they hide, and it's actually sad if you
Yeah.
think about.
I mean, because there are many people who are not able to break through the barriers like you have been able to break through the barriers, and they just are not able to realize their full potential, and people just don't see the stars that they are. And there's something that you just said, that somebody loved you no matter what, and just made you understand that the way you are, they love you the way you are. And that's what parents need to do. That's what teachers need to do. And I think it's a good time for us. I know you have 15 minutes left, and I know you asked me to leave on time, so I'm trying to keep to time. But it really leads to what we're doing to create awareness for dyslexia this month in particular. So there is training. Dyslexia Nigeria does a lot of training for teachers, for parents, about what dyslexia is, how to identify it, what to do to support a child that is dyslexic. So please contact us, sign up to our trainings. A lot of them are online. You can take the trainings from wherever you are. We also have merchandise. Cross, we're going to send you your merchandise. Hope that you will wear it for us. There's
I
no
like
way to
give me, I'll wait.
dive into. So I mean, our theme this month is we're going inside out for dyslexia, and you have done a fantastic job of starting that for us. You are taking something that is an internal difficulty and you brought it out
people to understand, to see, and to see you who are so successful that we all love, to see that you have dyslexia.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to receive it. I just think everyone has different way of explaining things. Like, just learn. I think personally, we owe it to ourselves to be better everything we do. So, for example, right? What is it that you want to become that's holding you back? So, I won't lie to you, man. We human beings, we actually, I love God. Do you know why? Because God created us in so many special ways. So, me now, right? Do you know why I really wanted to play football? I loved football so much. Why? Because I was so fast, right? And I was skillful enough. And I realized that, I don't have to go to school to go and learn this rubbish that they are telling me I'm dumb at. All I need is my strength and my skill. And I'll be able to, like, maneuver myself and become successful. So that's what I won't lie to you. Thinking about it now, and I'm like, Cross, you're stupid, because that's actually what I thought. Do you know why? Because I did not get in. I was so sad, and because I remember that time in school when we're in class like this now, because I was my JSS1, JSS2, I was so athletic that even in my JSS1, JSS2, when class would be going on like this, sport teacher, sport prefect will come in and just say, "Excuse me, please, can we borrow Ikechukwu for a second?" And class is going on, right? And me, they are calling me to come out because I want to go and train with the seniors, or we have a competition. So in my mind, I was like feeling like the baddest guy, because just as one out of the whole just now only me they carry go train with seniors. Do you understand? So it was, to me, I was like, I think this is the best way to escape from education, because since I can't learn, since they always call me for last 3 or last 5, make I go where for sports where they call me say Abiodogu now. Do you understand? So that was that was an escape for me back in high school because that was the only place I thought that I could distribute my strength and my skill, and nobody will laugh at me, and nobody will tell me I'm dumb. They will, instead, everybody will be praising me. Oh, go Cross, go Cross. So to me, I thought that's why every time I just kept on doing. That's why I'm very athletic. Basketball, I want to play. Football, I want to play. Tennis, I want to play. But everything I want to play. I want to play because there nobody's going to tell me the biology of the physics of the. Nobody's going to tell me that. No, everybody's going to be like, warm up, get, So thinking about it now out loud, right? I think that was a funny moment in my life, because I only thought that they would not laugh at me. My strength was based on what I could deliver on the field at that particular point in time. So yeah, but thinking about it now, that was stupid. And listen, guys, please, whoever you are, whatever you are, don't allow yourself. Don't play yourself short because you think you cannot read, or you cannot write, or you cannot understand something better than the next person. See, I use myself an example. My cousin, Teta, right? Sometimes he will tell me, read this, read it, and tell me. And I keep telling him that sometimes I'll read it and I'll say, I don't understand. And in his mind, he'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with this boy? Come on, do it. Do it. It's simple, because he knows that if he just takes it and reads it, he understands it quickly. So he projects that his knowing and that his knowledge, that he feels it's easy for him. Why don't you to be so easy for you? So he projects it. Come on, just do it, man. So he thinks I'm lazy or I don't want to. But the fact is that I've done it and I see that I'm struggling and I'm difficult. And I'm trying to tell him, but he's not even willing to listen. He's just, his own is, come on, you're a human being. You have eyes, you have mouth, you have legs. You should be able to understand it as much as I do. But that's where the mistake is for most people. Don't think like that, because once you automatically think that the person has eyes, ears, legs, and the person should have brain to function as much. No, don't think like that. That's why you can see that sometimes you see human beings, their emotions are out. You see, it's not robot that is adopting people now. It's human being that's going to adopt people. People that are using people for rituals. People that are killing people. Why? They are the same human beings. So why do you think they do that? Do you understand? Why do you think these human beings do that? Because their emotions or whatever it is that guide them or navigate them through their moral thinking or their spirit has left them. So right now they just feel whatever they are doing is what they need to do to survive. And if you bring such a person and you bring another human being and you look at them, you see they look alike. They all look the same, but the way they think and the way they are inside is totally different. So you have to find a way to adjust the way you would relate with this person, and you have to adjust the way you relate with this person so that you can get the best out of both of them, or you can get an information that you want out of both of them.
Word, Cross, that is amazing. Exactly. Thank you so much. And there's something else that you said there, that you really like sports. And I think a lot of children that are struggling in school, you feel that you want to take them away from those things, away from sports, away from drama, so they can focus more on this academic. You know, take away something that they enjoy, something that they are good at, something that they can feel that they are thriving in, and then you totally kill the spirit entirely. So I think anybody who is dyslexic or showing those signs, give them room to do the things that they enjoy as well.
Yes, give them room, space.
So we have
don't be scared. Talk. You don't understand it. Don't be scared, please, guys, because you think they're gonna laugh at you, or you think that you should know it. No, you mustn't know it. Why you don't know it is because you haven't been taught. Do you understand? So don't automatically think you should know. No, ask questions. Always ask. When you ask a question, you get the answer. And if the person answers you and you don't know it, please ask again. Keep asking, because you want to be informed. You want to know. Do you understand? You want to be better. You want to be knowledgeable. You want to be knowledgeable for you to be able to be better in whatever you're doing. So you have to ask. So don't feel shy or feel like you're not worthy enough to know. Please ask. And if the person doesn't give you the right answer, ask somebody else.
exactly. So you know,
Or better still, hit Dyslexia Nigeria.
yes. I think we're back. I think the network was bad. Can anyone hear? Can you hear me, anyone? I think we lost Cross as well in the whole of that. Can anyone tell me if you can still hear me? Hi, anyone? Can you still hear? Oh, great. Thank you. Someone just said yes. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm hoping that Cross will join for the very last 5 minutes. But if anything, I hope you learned something from us today, that dyslexia is not a disease. Oh, yes, I think he's back. Hey, sorry, that was the network.
I know. I'm sorry. It happens.
Minutes left. So it's a good time for us to wrap up. Thank you so much for taking this time. Guys, remember, dyslexia is not a disease. Dyslexia is a different way of learning and thinking. It's a strength, and all the challenges that it comes with can be overcome. So I think someone had asked a question about, does dyslexia affect speaking? Yes, dyslexia does affect speaking because it's a language processing disorder. But you can learn more about that from us. Just send us a DM or follow us. And there's a lot that we can teach you about dyslexia. But this month, please follow us on social media. We're going inside out for dyslexia. Share our posts, buy our merchandise, wear it, tag us. Let's see you following the train. Sign our petition. We're asking for Nigerian teachers to be trained on dyslexia. So please sign our petition. It's quite important. The more of us show that we care about this, the more likely it is that we will be heard. Cross, thank you so much for joining us today. What are your last words to everyone?
I saw something that someone wrote. I read a comment. So the person said, Cross, God bless you. Say the way they flog them when in day school. You know if you forget the flogging when they flog them. Okay, I'm so sorry. Whoever you are, I'm sorry they flogged you, man. I won't lie to you. I feel your pain. Guy, they flogged you. See, for secondary school, for high school, guy, the way they call you, as if they go call you for assembly. And apart from that, after they've called you assembly, after they finish humiliating you, they'll still carry that fucking teacher, that wicked teacher will still come and flog you. And you don't want to cry. You will stand in the assembly. You don't want to cry. You want to fall because your babes where they toast go there assembly ground with you too. And your seniors too where they try toast too go there assembly ground with you too. So you don't go try one fuck up. So flog. So they go not flog you. You go just chest down. Pow, 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 pow. Like 5. You just chest down. Just dust yourself. Waka go assembly ground back. You go just feel like, you understand? So I'm sorry, guys, that you had to go through all that. I had to go through all that as well. But you know what? I think every experience in life, everything you go through in life, is either what makes you or breaks you. And that's on God, right? So I think personally, going through all those experiences in life are what has made me what I am today. Losing people you love, caring about people, learning, de-learning. And the beauty about learning is, you have to de-learn some stuff because at that particular time in your life, when you were learning those things, those are the things you actually need to survive. Do you understand? Yeah. So I get to a stage that you actually don't need those things anymore. You have to de-learn them because now you don't need those things anymore. So personally, I would like to thank you all for joining because this is amazing. Like every one of you life is you actually have someone in your life or you have been through that process where dyslexia is something that is a problem to any of you, whether to you, your sibling or your friend or your anybody in your life, even parents as well. So I'm very grateful that you all are here watching this. I love one of you guys. You guys actually enjoy because you're actually ready to change the narratives about you. Please, you are not dumb. You are not stupid. You are not crazy. You are just special. Do you understand? You're not stupid. You're not dumb. You're not on a lodo. You are just special. You are special, and it takes a special person to recognize another special person. So I'm telling you that I know I'm special. So me, I'm telling you that you are special. Okay. So please learn what you want to learn, and don't be scared to come out and speak in public, or don't be scared to do what you want to do because of the ability you have. All you need to do is follow on Election Nigeria, so we can so help you understand the kind of deformity you have. Some can be pitch impairment, some could be just reading, some could be writing, some could be understanding things slower, some could be understanding things very difficult. Some you have to use different method to teach them so they can understand. So could be the way their brain see things is different way other people. So it's different. There are different types of dyslexia. Do you understand? And all this will be explained to you, um, from Dyslexia Nigeria, from my friend here. Should be able to navigate you and how to be better, everything you want to do, so that in the next 5-10 years, we should be able to have a better society where people will be bold and be comfortable enough to express themselves, knowing that they won't be laughed at or they will not be mocked just because they are special in their own. So thank you all for all you guys. I actually love every one of you, and you guys are special in your own way.
It was so easy to talk with you about something that so many people find difficult to talk about. God bless you for this. This was amazing. Thank you so much. There's more talk to come. We're on Instagram Live every Friday this month. Our dialogue is happening on November 4th, where we have a nice international panel talking about dyslexia. Please join us, find the links on our page and join us. We love you, Cross. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope that you learned a lot. We're happy to share much more. Hope to see you next week. Thank you very much. Cross, enjoy your Friday. I know I took out of it. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I enjoyed it. I won't lie to you. I enjoyed it though. I won't lie to you, man. I enjoyed it. And it's good to see my fellow Cross Nation people here. Like, I always love talking to them because they're just amazing. I actually love them. They're just the best. I like them. And I love the fact that we always go on this journey together. Like, whether it be mental health, whether it be dyslexia, whether it be Web3, whether it be finance, whether it's politics, whatever it is, I actually love the fact that they always get involved. So these guys, they're the best guys. I can't wait to be so big so that them too can be so big. Like, the more I get bigger, the more they get bigger. And I actually want to like teach people, like dyslexia is something I actually want to open like a institution, a school institution where people would we have people that are patient enough to be able to understand the students, teach them. It's a lot of money, so you need billions of naira, and so I'm working towards that. That's why that's the way I live my life some certain way, because I know that there's some certain things I want to acquire, and there's some certain things I want. So I go, they ball, they spend like stupid money here and there, they do certain things to impress people. No, I have a dream, I have a particular goal I want to acquire. I could not be buying car or be doing those reflexive for the, but it's the gram. No one actually cares. But I know what I want to do. So, and have a goal. So it's a bigger picture, especially when fund starts coming in and I get to a stage where I think I want to. So that's the plan. And I think we're going to achieve that in the next couple of years, 2 to 3, and where we'll be able to have a big institution for dyslexia. And and people that have lost their dad and their mom as well, so we can be able to look after them, because I feel like people that have lost their parents should not automatically have a disadvantage already in life. Yes, you've lost the people that God have put over you to protect you, to guide you to some certain, but that does not mean automatically you should be left alone. That does not mean automatically you're going to, go down the drain. No, I think those people too have a chance to also be, what they want to be. And God puts light and stars. Do you know what I realized? God actually puts things in people. He could put like, now, let's say there are 8 billion people on this earth, right? Billion people. Do you know that God can put 2 billion stars in those 8 billion people? knowing that it's not every 8 billion people that would actually try to exercise that star that is in them. Do you understand? So out of 1 out of 5 people, or 1 out of 3 people, all of them have their stars, but only 1 or 2 that might end up like visualizing that star to come to play. Do you get what I mean? And it's left for that person now to have necessary tools and engagement around them to be able to flourish that way they're meant to flourish. So I think having this seminar would help people, especially people that are meant to be that star, but they're scared or they're shy or they don't want information about them to be out there feeling that kind of thing. So those people now are the people we are going to pay attention to and project them more, because those people now, 1 or 2 or 3 of them might actually have an idea that would cure cancer, or an idea that would change the economic of the world, or an idea that would bring humanity to a better glitch in life, or so many things. You never know, or they can invent something that will make us live longer. You never know. I don't know what it is, but let's believe those people should be given an equal opportunity as well, so that that can come out, and it's things like will make.
Because we're here to support that dream and to make that come to life.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I think we're going to call it a wrap now. Thank you so much. Cross, thank you so much. We really love you for everything today. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful long weekend. Reach out to Dyslexia Nigeria to support you, not only this month, every single day of the year.
Time to go and turn up, oh. Let's go and turn up, oh. No more coffee, oh. No more coffee, oh. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. We party. It's Friday night. We party.
I think he's gone. Oh, he left.